Alright, it has been a minute since I've done one of these, but amidst the recent challenge videos, people were calling for an MSI recap, and I, ever the viewer pleaser, am here to accommodate. So sit back with whatever food you're eating right now, and let's dive into one of the most dynamic MSI series I have ever seen. Seriously, the last game is insane, and trust me when I say a nuke is absolutely dropped on the champion you least expect it to be. At just 3 minutes 20 into game 1, we're already seeing first blood drawn, and it only makes sense because it's BrokenBlade versus Doran. You get it? Broken Doran's blade. All right, my bad.
Especially with Keria moving out on the map, where he's also on top side. Doran slices, dices, but is still taken out by BB.
Then, not even 2 minutes later, knowing they have a winning top side, G2 try to pressure the T1 jungle, but a slightly faster response from Keria over Labrov might make this invade not worth.
Around, the Razor Beaks almost secured, down to 200 as Caps tries to trade in. Keria across the wall will get one fear tether towards the top side, as well as Caps is already down to Faker. Labrov too late. SkewMond has to flash across the wall. Oner flashes for the chase, and G2 are just too damn greedy.
Then again, just over 90 seconds later, Oner attempts a dive onto Caps and Labrov mid, but call Caps trump with how quick he put that wall up, or something, I don't know, I'm Australian. And not only that, we have a slight swing in the top side as the blade gets reforged.
General, Keria looks for Caps, flashes, doesn't get the hookshot wall dive. Faker there with the miasma. Labrov forced to walk away. Paranoia! Everyone's out to get you. Caps as Shroud of Darkness comes down onto Oner. Underneath the tower, he takes a couple of shots. Caps with a great crystallize will lock Oner against the wall. Shield of Daybreak for the stun. Flash Frost for the follow! And Oner is frozen in the enemy jungle while BrokenBlade tries to trade with Doran towards this top side. Final hour has been used. Dashes away from the Dominus and won't go for any much further trading. Behind the tower, behind the alcove though, he gets sliced up by Doran. No escape for the Vayne.
With Grubby's on the board for contention, a trigger-happy Labrov kicks things off with a flash Zenith Blade onto Faker. And with an AP carry Ziggs TPing in, T1's DPS is lacking a tiny little bit in this early skirmish.
Actually using any of that gold lead as the flash Zenith Blade goes in. Paranoia on the backline. That's going to be the egg out of Caps, but the fear going out, he manages to escape. SkewMond's already killed off Faker. TPs from either side as Peyz joins the battle, as does Hans Summer. Oner in the midst of them all, caught out in the Cataclysm, and now locked in the cage by G2. BrokenBlade trading with Peyz towards the bottom side. He condemns him back as he condemned him to death. The good satchel.
With Keria roaming top for a gank onto BB, they have enough set up for the kill, but some very nice stealth tumbles by enough time for the G2 cavalry.
Try and get away. BrokenBlade looking for the silver bolts. Keria going forward. BB dashes away, uses the invisibility well. SkewMond flag drag. Caps here too. BB, you just can't find him! You just can't find that BrokenBlade! And with it, he'll slice you up a double for Caps.
Now, after just a couple of picks and random kills, both teams start to prep for Baron around the 20th minute. And what looks like a pick onto Faker turns into a quick retaliation from T1.
Well, Solar Flare on Faker, Zenith Blade there for the follow-up. Great Petrifying Gaze, clips Caps' wings for a second, but with a True Shot barrage coming down and the exhaust there as well, Faker's going to have to work some magic to get out of this one. The rest of T1 on the offensive though. Faker will fall, but at what cost for G2? The dive in with the Hexag Ultimatum as Caps is turned into drumsticks. Labrov, no protoplasm harness can save you from Peyz as the chase continues for T1 and Labrov falls to the bouncing bomb.
As is the nature of cross-map plays, T1 put their picking power of Camille support on display, finding BB in bot jungle, but not without answer as whatever this was happens top lane.
Exhaust, and it's not even spellbook exhaust, it's BB.
BrokenBlade dodging away from Keria, who tries to find him with the flash. The blast cone there for him, will use it after the Hexagon ultimatum, pulled back straight into the waiting arms of Peyz, who gets his third of the game.
But it doesn't matter because he finds him with the ultimatum.
Solar Flare down onto Faker. Zenith Blade there for the follow-up. A Petrifying Gaze will buy him a couple of seconds, but with the Flash Force coming in, Faker is no longer on the rift. Paranoia used in response. It's only Oner here, but he's enough, it seems. The chase away from Caps and Labrov with Keria on his way. A flash from the Shield of Daybreak, but the Frostbite burns him down.
With Baron on the menu for both teams, Caps kind of just seems to wander into his jungle, and Camille's support does its thing again, allowing Peyz to play from exactly the range Ziggs works best at. And G2 pay heavily for the sins of Caps.
He's going to be going for a much more tanky build on the Vayne top.
Keria going for Caps. He does have Egg, but in the Hexag Ultimatum in the Paranoia Solar Flare. There's the Seekers. The stopwatch from Caps with the Crystallize down. He will get scrambled. The question is, will the Egg fall as well? Super Mega Death Inferno Bomb enough with Faker bangs, and now T1 continue their advance. G2 on the retreat to their own jungle. Doran looking for the flank across towards the side, gets the Rufus spread stun. Labrov's gonna fall to T1 as Oner takes that kill. Summer stepping in, but he's on miasma now. You don't step to Faker.
Around, has ult, has no flash, but Peyz is going to be there to try to bodyguard. It's up to him and BB.
It's G2 v4. Doran Rufus Pez a flash across the wall. SkewMond Cataclysm doesn't come down in time. As with the final hour, maybe the final breaths here for BrokenBlade. He'll get the enemy jungler, but it's not going to be enough. T1 know they have the time to take the Baron as G2 lose another 2 and lose the big purple worm.
With Baron over to T1, a siege onto tier 2 is laid, and again, Caps finds himself the target of T1's hard engage. But this time, G2 is a little bit more prepared.
Inferno Bomb is going to hurt as they look for Caps again. The flash from Keria, and here's the combo. Solar Flare, stopwatch, Peyz brings down the bomb, but Caps flash out of it in time. Petrifying Gaze doesn't land the stun. The Crystallize to try and divide the fight. Shusha Barrage coming across the side as Labrov does fall low, healing up. Not enough from the Protoplasm. SkewMond gets across and dives on Faker. The Cataclysm down. SkewMond heals with the Sundered Sky as BrokenBlade tries to dive on the back line, and T1 have stepped a little bit too far. And G2 are punishing. Doran will fall. A 3-for-1 so far in the exchanges. Summer wants more out of it.
As G2 try to rush their second Baron, they seem to have forgotten how brutal T1's dive is. And where did BrokenBlade just go?
We'll play for Baron. We'll pull you over here. Infernal Drake stopped by T1 as G2 start up the Baron, and this is it. Do or die in this game one of this best of 5. T1 begin to collapse. The battle line's drawn between the two teams as Keria dives in. The Mega Inferno Bomb just kills BrokenBlade exactly where he stands, and now it's all on SkewMond and Summer alongside Labrov to get this one through, but it's a double already for Peyz while Doran distracts and delays G2 from getting any closer to the damage dealers. Baron secured. Keria hit by a flash. Frost dives to the side of Caps, but with the rest of T1 here for the chase, Caps is doomed. A bouncing bomb and flashed across, but there's no tower here to save him. Keria could go back in, but Caps with the storm will slow him down, try and take him out. He dodges to the side of the Malignants and manages to walk out of the fight.
It's time for G2 to get one back, and as SkewMond is solo in the pit, surely Dragon Soul goes over to the LEC team.
Area.
Mega Inferno Bomb already back up. The flag will spot Peyz. Summer across the wall, trying to take it down. True Shot Barrage clips onto Peyz. 4K on the Dragon. Mega Inferno Bomb once again! T1 just pull the rabbit out of the hat.
Now, I really don't have any words for this fight. I couldn't tell who was winning for legit 45 seconds. So yeah, enjoy this absolute headbutt in the river.
BB the first to move here, but Doran TP's behind on that ward we previously mentioned. Paranoia out the smite, 90 HP taken by Oner. And now the fight perhaps for T1 as the Paranoia goes in. The Mega Inferno Bomb doesn't collect anyone as Labrov is taken out first. Oner with the GA, Caps trying to walk away, flashes the wall, Doran condemned to death. BrokenBlade trying to get out with the final hour. The flag and drag in as Summer kills Oner. Faker falling low, as is Keria, and G2 still have 4 alive. And they want to make sure T1 don't walk out of this without another scratch, without another skirmish. Faker almost down, flag and drag out.
Way to get out, BB.
A final hour gets onto Peyz, locks him against the wall and takes him down. Faker will escape. Faker will survive, and G2 only will get the Baron out of it. The Drake secured by T1.
With Baron over to G2, a siege onto the T1 base begins, and Summer with TP on his Ezreal answers the split from Doran. But holy shit, how bad is Renekton champion? And at level 20 as well.
This Baron
goes in with the slice with the dice, gets the Ruthless Predator, looking for the stun, as Summer just absolutely eviscerates him! Turned into shoes is the croc! As
they can wave clear, but G2 want to end game 1 right here, right now.
T1, everyone on the defense. The Nexus Tower is the first target for G2 as the miasma goes down and Caps chases Oner out. Caps has that X. First Nexus Tower fallen. G2 looking to raise the base of T1 and raise the flag for EU as the dive comes in. But the die comes in for T1. G2 defeats T1 in game 1.
Okay, hectic game to kick off this series, and believe me when I tell you it only gets way more hype. Now, before we jump into game 2, a quick word from our partner for this video, TapinGG. All right, you know these blokes, it's TapinGG, but if you haven't heard of them, they're on a mission to be the premier destination for League of Legends coaching, allowing you to climb faster getting coached while you play, or just play with teammates who actually talk to you and know what they're doing. And matching takes around the same time as it does to find a game of League itself, so you're never just waiting around unnecessarily. And alongside MSI, they've also got their new SummerSlam challenge running, climb the leaderboard to earn prizes and exclusive profile badges while you're at it. If you use code RIVALSUMMER for a discount, the link is in the description below for some goodies. And thank you to Tapin for their partnership. It's game 2 time. I know if I just copped a loss like that, I'd be feeling a little frustrated and a little tilted. So let's see if T1 can find their feet and responds to LEC's first seed. Bro, how broken is support? Just wanders mid and scoops up first blood for his team because Bard is off gathering chimes. Crazy stuff, but deserved for playing Bard.
One very back and forth. G2 comes out on top.
Flash forward from Keria into the bone skewer, and Oner's here for the chase. He won't even be needed, but lands the darking daggers and does take the kill.
Now, this is just a really long sequence of plays, and it's kicked off by Caps almost taking down Faker before Keria responds again. Yeah, just watch this.
Steps forward, how much it steps back as Labrov and Caps look for Faker on this bottom side. Unleash power onto Faker, takes him down to a third. Keria on the flank, though Labrov will land the stun onto Oner, stopping T1's idea of taking this fight. G2 investing 4 players around here for now, as Caps perhaps will just look for the crystalline overgrowth as Faker wisely walks away from the... Oh, they jump onto Caps. It's Keria, death from below as Caps is taken out. Labrov trying to chase out this Pyke. Hansama on his way through the magical journey. Keria needs some fancy feet to get away, and Hansama comes in to secure the kill. And with the tempered fate, Peyz rebuts Labrov. Solar Snare out as well as Faker is looking for more. He has the flash, and SkewMond now in range. The Aegis Assault, no movement speed for him. Faker takes it. Hansama now needs to get the hell out of dodge, but T1 are collapsing perfectly. The flash across the wall.
Here comes
Where's Keria? Pyke can smell blood in the water. A bone skewer goes to Narnia, but it didn't need to hit. Faker takes
right, you know, just getting busy on the map here, moving around with T1. They're looking for Caps.
Phantom on the toe, Keria down to Caps as Oner tries to trade back in. Labrov going the long way round, looking for the Caretaker's blessing, and it will be enough. The magical journey. Oner still dashing, a darking dagger will get him with the bleed, but Caps gets the shutdown in response. Meanwhile, BrokenBlade trying to survive on the top side as Peyz brings down the golden eclipse, but it's not enough even with the ghouls chasing him out. BrokenBlade will heal up.
G2 catch a splitting Faker topside, and while 3 G2 are top, the other 2 are just destroying mid lane. What is going on?
Grand Starfall onto Faker. T1 running up through the river, but Faker's running the wrong direction and has no Realm Warp to get out of this one. They might try and just give it over to Caps. SkewMond orders one more time. Caps is here. The shutdown does go to Skew. Meanwhile, culling used into the rebuttal. BrokenBlade trying to trade onto Peyz. Hansama dashes in, and Keria is devoured. The Tempered Fate not quite in time to save him from the bleed.
G2 call on their Herald to crack mid, and T1 just really struggled to defend. It's not often that T1 just looks lost, but this sequence of plays, yeah.
The execution here is, you can see G2 dropping Herald mid, trying to pressure. Faker still pushing bot for now. Does have the Realm Warp.
Maiden pulled back with the force of will. Taken out with the charge from the Herald, and even with the Dark Perception, SkewMond still able to get away. Look at Faker coming up. He's going to have the Realm Warp, but look at Doran. He has nothing left. Another charge here. It's Caps riding the Herald towards the tower there. The plates rebuttal out. Faker still waiting to see if he can come across with the Tempered Fate hitting, and Peyz with no escape. BB on a rampage. This Cho'Gath is unstoppable as Oner's forced to eviscerate away as G2 eviscerate T1.
Been there, but the tower was one shot by the Herald, and now this is problems for T1. They're just going to decide to give it, but T1, it was dead even just a minute ago, and now it is going to be an over 2.5k gold lead here for G2 as Doran dies for free, and then the rest of T1 kind of caught off guard, and it felt like overstayed their welcome. Peyz goes down as well.
It's an Ocean Drake. They are on soul point now as Doran has stepped forward, and a Grand Starfall into a shield bolt. Oh, Doran, you just got back out on the map! SkewMond with his second, and for T1, things are falling apart.
They are, especially for Doran and maybe Peyz.
Puts the rebuttal down. They haven't unleashed power from Caps, but he held onto it. Bone Skewer out. G2 will settle with 4 plates out of that tower as BrokenBlade the target for Faker and Oner, but BB might just win this in the 1v2. Feral Scream dodged away from TP behind as Caps looks to join the play, and T1's desperation has turned into G2's dessert. Caps comes across, Oner out from the unleashed power, a realm more about from Faker, the Scream. Not quite in time to keep him.
With G2 in a pretty comfortable lead, they have the option to just turn from Baron if T1 respond. An attempt to respond they do, with BrokenBlade putting on a Tenchi level of performance on this gentleman Cho'Gath.
And look for a Smite plus Feast combo to secure it, and that is exactly what they're trying to do. They want Doran to TP at the very least.
Doran's still pushing through the bot side right now. BrokenBlade pulled back into the Baron pit. Keria there, Grand Starfall towards the backline as they go for Oner. Tempered Fate hitting onto 2 as well. G2 looking for the fight instead. The knock-up from BrokenBlade means that Peyz has no place to go. Doran does TP, but too late to save anyone. Another knock-up, another Doran death as G2 find 2 around the Baron.
With BB pushing mid on this monstrous Baron buff Cho'Gath, T1 attempt to force a pick. But who's picking who here?
Marking him, so if Oner could get past BB towards the Baron, it would have been, but G2 do secure their second of the game.
In the late game, in times like this.
Bone skewer onto BrokenBlade, Rupture coming down, there's a Solar Snare for the follow-up, and Faker's here from the side trying to machine gun down this Cho'Gath, but Faker realizes there's only one big dog here as BrokenBlade's going to force him away. The Temper Fate hits the backline, and G2 pounce! Peyz brings out a golden eclipse, but there's only darkness for T1 as Keria is forced away, and the culling finds the Undertaker. Yorick down, 3 down, G2 pushing through mid.
G2 are about to bring us the match point here. Keria is trying to cut the wave, but they still have the Baron cannon. G2 just have to defend it and push in for the win.
BB is absolutely massive. The Hound's pursuit does nothing against G2. It is 1 away from glory.
Man, I can only say one thing. Thank God I wasn't paying BrokenBlade's Cho'Gath that game. These Cho'Gath players are gonna make me go broke. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch last video. But now onto game 3, are T1 really about to get swept? Let's find out. Looking to bring Doran into this series, Oner 3 camps top onto BB Zhang. Yeah, I came up with that one on the spot. And now he's only 9 deaths away from his power spike.
He's staying around a little bit longer here. Oner as BrokenBlade goes in. What doesn't connect? Oner here with that level 3. BrokenBlade looking for the Mortal Steel. Has to try and dash away, but still, even with the wallet falling short, BrokenBlade has no way out. First blood, Oner.
Making an answer to the bot lane comes one SkewMond Skarner, and a snipe from Hans Summer balances out the map.
SkewMond in with the Ishtar's impact. They'll catch out Peyz handshake back as well, but Peyz able to survive, burns the barrier with a flash! But Hans Summer burns it down and flashes away from the Gleaming Quill!
Now, remember before what I said about BB Zhang? Yeah, there is nothing more humiliating as a top laner than getting a gank at level 3 and still dying solo. But in Doran's defense, it is a very bad matchup. I digress.
Minion and Doran expecting that, didn't want to get caught out.
Well, Doran got his E interrupted and he could go for Q flash.
BrokenBlade flashes in. A last breath for Doran, begins to dash away, but he has no flash left. The Steel Tempest needs to connect, and BrokenBlade with a full blade is able to get a solo bolo.
Now, it is actually just really sick to watch Xayah Rakan 2v2s, and even more sicker when it's Peyz's Xayah. Check this shit out.
Dominant. As we see the handshake coming back, grand entrance there as well. Feather Storm, Hans Summer has a bailout on him. Chain of Corruption down, Hans Summer will come back to life with the barrier. Peyz flashes away and survives, almost dies. Labrov flashes for him, but the auto can't get in range because he's not able to see him. Great play from the T1 bot lane to get out of that alive.
And only 90 seconds later, just as Peyz's Xayah is refinding his footing, a return gank from SkewMond evens out the kill count.
Late, and now Peyz very close to having his first item.
Chase onto Keria, impelled to pull him back. Oner's on the way across, and with a battle chance, the chain of corruption will land, but Oner is here now, and T1 will try and turn the play around. Peyz so low, flash from SkewMond gets him. A grand entrance onto Hans Summer, but the turnaround is turned into a hostile takeover by G2. They'll find 2.
As G2 try to push Doran off his top tower and deny XP, T1 responds in what turns out to be a very close skirmish.
Doran cannot play.
Caught out by the Steel Tempest. Last breath coming out from BrokenBlade as well as he forces Doran away. 2 plates still remain, almost 1 on this top lane tower. 11 minutes in, G2 with 4 members strong. Oner going forward, great handshake from Labrov. He'll tank the tower instead. Doran has the mega quickness from the side. Chain of Corruption coming out from Unsummer, but he's caught with the wall of it. Shows impact from SkewMond into the double impale! G2 always have their teammates back. Faker forced down towards the bottom side. SkewMond looking for the chase. Doran jumps the wall, but Caps is here!
With T1 picking up BrokenBlade bot lane, G2 look to respond. But for the retaliation, T1 is ready, and Peyz shows off his amazing reaction time once again.
SkewMond all coming in, but Faker is still behind them. They don't know!
They flash in, they look for the engage. The hostile takeover lands, but only onto Faker and Oner. Peyz not auto-attacking his teammates. In the end, T1 able to defend for now. Peyz with a good blade caller. A TP behind. SkewMond now on the back foot. Ishtal's impact interrupted. The weirding from Caps doesn't find its mark, and Doran's here to join the party. SkewMond with the impale only lands it onto 1, and Faker very happily will be pulled into his grasp.
With both teams looking to pad their dragons, yet another extremely close fight breaks out. But with the gold dead even, the victor may start to pull away in this game 3. Maybe.
He's pushed that wave into Doran, but he doesn't want to show too easily. Doran's just gone Mega Gnar. The Drake down to 5,000. It's T1 who are sitting on it right now. BrokenBlade trying to chase Doran through that topside jungle. Caps goes in across the veil. Keria just short of getting clipped by that handshake. Double TPs come out as Doran is matched by BrokenBlade. Infernals, Drake secured for G2. Ishtar's impact coming for the follow-up. There's the Featherstorm. Peyz charged into by the Rift Tower, but a great charm on the backline. Keria finds all 4 of them. Peyz takes out SkewMond. Between worlds we go, and to the afterlife go T1. Unsummer on the chase. Doran trying to escape, but I think the G2 have got him.
Baron Nashor is on the map, and you know what that means. Yes, it means another very close fight in the top lane. Another very close fight.
They're outnumbered, they don't know.
SkewMond will face check. Keria and Peyz are waiting. There's the quickness, they jump on Caps. Labrov here with the bailout. Featherstorm out from Peyz. The bailout on Caps won't come down in time. The dash back, the hostile takeover, only hitting onto Keria. Chain of Corruption out of Hans Summer. Grand Engine's gonna get him knocked up. Peyz getting chased out, slammed against the wall. Hans Summer opens up and Peyz falls. A double for the Varus. T1 now on the back foot as BrokenBlade looks for more. Needs to land the knockup. Faker dodges with the rocket belt. Keria gleaming quill for the heal. G2 might turn their attentions towards the Baron. Doran halfway to Mega.
Has no wind wall. Hostile takeover.
Hostile takeover. Only clips Labrov. And Doran even with the Nav against the wall still gets knocked up. Faker dives in. Hunsummer at a 3rd HP. Slammed into the wall by the Ishtal's impact. And the impact of SkewMond's Singer is felt again as Faker now on 10 HP. Chased out of the jungle. He's going to try and dodge away. Keria's on his way across as well. But here's the Scorpion King.
Caps looks to make a pick onto Peyz. But again, this kid's reactions are crazy, and his retaliation allows T1 the window that they've been looking for.
Not, but we got to go back to live
Peyz
because
just
it's a
killed Caps.
solo kill onto Caps. How did that happen?
I have no clue, Ezreal.
Flash that did catch him off guard. We'll see if G2 can punish Peyz. Missing that summoner, it means that T1 will go to Soul Point. So we'll see this one more time. Caps just goes into stealth. It's got to be an E-Flash to the side. Yep, just caught him with the E-Flash. Brilliant play.
Impale happening on the screen as Faker uses the hijacked Impale as well. Keria trying to get the quickness on towards the back line as the hostile takeover. Catches onto Faker and Doran on the back. Peyz has Featherstorm available as Keria tries to step forward. They'll jump onto Hunsummer, kicking back. He almost takes out Doran, but Peyz gets the kill. Caps being in, but T1 are turning it around.
With T1 deployed on the map with their shiny new Baron buff and slight gold lead, Faker and Oner start looking for some jungle picks. But what we have to remember, that gold lead is barely present, and G2 still have every fighting chance.
Off that defeat here, SkewMond could be in trouble.
Quickness out of Keria. SkewMond trying to get out. They'll go for Hunsummer instead. The Dragon's Rage kick, though, saves him. Hunsummer kicked across the wall by Oner, and now with a double impale, Labrov's there with a hostile takeover as well. They'll pull them back underneath the tower. Oner takes a tower shot, still gets the kill. No, he doesn't. In fact, he went in with a resonating strike, and now SkewMond is a little bit too deep as he is going to get taken out by T1. The collapse continues. Hunsummer chased out by Keria. Needs the Gleaming Quill. Needs the auto attacks. He'll get them. Labrov falls as well. BrokenBlade slammed in by the Gnar. T1.
Taking jungle control, T1 looked to pressure mid after taking bot inhib, but an overstepping SkewMond may cause G2 to fall 1 by 1, and the Koreans narrowly avoid a 3-0.
Pseudo Enchanter roll.
Oh, Keria steps in. Battle Dance away. Infernal Drake up in 50 seconds time would be sold for T1. SkewMond with the smite, Impale used by Faker, he pulls back the Skarner, and Peyz begins to open up, and Peyz just rips through SkewMond, the hot soul takeover torch to the side as well. Labrov can't escape, T1 as a 5-man squad, just chase them down, between worlds we go, the quickness on the back line as Oner with the kick this time, delivers Hansama into the waiting arms of his team. No sweep today, no 3-0, T1 with the resilience, with the experience, will not be denied a series.
Moving on to game 4, T1 are still facing a lost series. Could this be a reverse sweep? They've done it before. Let's get into it. Kicking off the T1 reverse sweep campaign is Doran on his Olaf Verken brother. Verken? It's not even a word. Kicking off the T1 reverse sweep campaign is Doran on his Olaf Verken again, what am I saying? Versus. Kicking off the T1 reverse sweep campaign is Doran on his Olaf versus BrokenBlade's Kled. Adamant this series will not be decided by a top gap.
He's gonna chase down BrokenBlade. Kled has nowhere to remount. BrokenBlade needs another, but Doran!
And not long after, Caps looks to dethrone the king, but he's on the throne for a reason.
Chops him down with the axe while Faker almost falls in the mid lane.
And as G2's top and mid fall, so too does their bot lane. And all SkewMond can do is type jungle is a weak role, go next.
Not what you talk about when you talk about Faker these days, but G2 in trouble. Oner's behind him.
Oner's on a gank. We'll see the Lucian singularity coming down. There's a snap trap as well, and Peyz and Keria can just 2v2 it. Oner comes across the wall to claim the kill.
Really going to be on the back foot here. Is another binding.
You can just see the CC chain. You can't escape it.
So he is accepting that he's just going to miss CS.
Oh my God.
Again. He's dead too.
He's just dead again. He has to snap around the snap traps and then flashes. Peyz flashes for the follow, and Peyz sends him to meet his maker.
I feel like nerves are getting to them.
Well, Ragnarok out from Doran. He thinks he can just take this. The Olaf will get the 1-for-1, but he'll die.
As G2 look to make a play onto Faker with BB's ultimate, another gank happens bot lane and shows that despite G2's rocky start, they won't make a potential reverse sweep easy. I have a really itchy foot.
Blade looking for mid first. He's going to jump in just as Punch comes out. There's the taunt from the shield of Doran, but Faker might just be done for as BrokenBlade takes him. Meanwhile, SkewMond still waiting to see if Keria oversteps, which he does, has to flash away. Light Binding doesn't connect. Q3 for the knock-up, and Keria, no way out for him. G2 find 2 across the map.
With G2 posturing to dive Doran, a hero's entrance saves the day, but G2 won't disperse their resources without some blood.
Hovering is looking for that hero's entrance. BrokenBlade stepping forward. Faker comes in. There's the Galio ult, the Ragnarok chasing down Labrov, and there's no escape for the Karma. In fact, the auto cell come out, the Winds of War from Faker will take it in the end.
I'm gonna put the mic on the sword. I can't even hold it properly. With Doran finding a scouting Labrov, his Ragnarok kicks off a lengthy sequence of kills that starts to widen the gold gap. And how does Hansama keep randomly getting bound by Keria? Like the dude's on a ward.
They can hover him and they can try to get a pick there.
Labrov going to get chased down by Doran, uses the Ragnarok, uses the Ghost. Labrov tries to flash away, but Doran can just chase him. SkewMond with a Crescent Guard, trying to get away from the Cyclone. Doran gets the kill. Over 2T1 is another bear trap, almost catches him. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Hansama, he's just rooted for days. The man is basically a plant with how long those roots are. And SkewMond with no ult, with no flash, with no way out. A great taunt in from Faker as T1 are flattening G2.
As Labrov and BB find Doran's side lane in preemption of Dragon, they look to deny the already building Dragon Soul pressure from T1. And good lord, is this fight close.
Doesn't have the charge, but can go in. Jousting. Look at those violent tendencies as well. Dismounted. There's the bear trap. Labrov here, but Doran heals up. BrokenBlade and Labrov will take a kill, but now the TP in from Faker, and Keria on his way. Counter TP used. Remount. Keria is going to try and protect Faker. Looking for that Light Binding. Labrov trying to keep Oner at bay. Light Binding hits onto SkewMond. Faker's trying to get the taunt towards the top side as the Crescent Guard comes out from SkewMond. BrokenBlade going into the pit as well. A Cyclone on the back as Hansama has a tempestuous time escaping. Labrov going to get chased out, charged on by the Rift Tower. BrokenBlade forced away as well. The Drake did go to G2. Importantly for them, they delayed the soul, but with another Light Binding. Just clipping the heels of BrokenBlade, unable to find that connection. Keria, Lucian singularity for the slow. Ragnarok in, BrokenBlade dismounted. Doran going deeper, but won't find enough. An ace in the hole. SkewMond's going to have to block it. The final spark, not enough. Cabs takes down Doran. Baker goes in, but the remount on Skarl. Courageous from G2 as they somehow bite back in the bot side.
That looked like it was going to be...
Oh, to Peyz. Cabs with the Siphon Power puts down the Hexag Ray. Good Mikhail's out of Keria, but SkewMond's on the chase. Peyz shot down by Skew, and Keria over with no hope, no teammates, and no life left to live.
With the gold almost even and T1 pressuring their third dragon, they look to deny the river entry of G2 with Caitlyn traps, and SkewMond is forced into the fray. And we have another hella long skirmish. I tell you though, these types of fights are so fun to watch.
G2 as they look to join Caps up with the rest of the squad. Cho'Gath instant Mikhails. Oh, wow. That was gorgeous from Keria. But T1 are still a little bit on the back foot as Faker yet to join with his team now. Connects through mid. Away from coming back off its cooldown. The Drake down to 4,000. Doran getting chased out towards the top side as SkewMond goes in. Oner with the Cyclone. Hero's entrance as well onto Hansama, who flashes across the wall, but with the Ragnarok. Doran just makes him fall, and now a second Cyclone means SkewMond goes down. A 2-for-1 so far for T1.
Fight. It's a split fight, and now T1 want more.
BrokenBlade flashing for Peyz. The bear trap doesn't connect in time. Keria forced away. Caps flashes away from Faker, but with Oner on the chase, it should be enough. Labrov flashes, trying to get Peyz rooted up. BrokenBlade Mikhails won't be enough to remount him. Peyz makes him pay the piper, and with an ace in the hole, Caps almost falls the final spark. Caps is the universal taunt for T1, it seems, and with Baron available, T1 are trying to delay those resets, but in goes Peyz and down goes Peyz.
With Baron on the map and a negligible gold gap separating the teams, G2 need to establish space before T1. Because if they're late, doing that into a Lux Caitlyn is almost impossible. But luckily, with the engage from BB's Kled, they're able to force a fight. Well, I think luckily, because T1 have Peyz on Caitlyn.
But Peyz,
the charge. And Cho'Gath uses the clone well there. BrokenBlade trying to get in with the bear trap on the rope, but won't be able to get in there. He gets dismounted immediately. Skull very cowardly this time as Oner comes back in with a category 5 as SkewMond dives forward. Peyz Mikhails. The taunt on SkewMond means he can't get any deeper, and Oner goes back in. The hero's entrance comes down, but it's cancelled as Faker can't join the fray. SkewMond manages to get out. A Ragnarok forward, a taunt, it's all on Caps, but how deep are you? BrokenBlade remounts, Peyz steps in, and Peyz now untouched. Another taunt, BrokenBlade dismounted, SkewMond back alive, but the Guardian Angel will not save him.
Penta, he's going for the Penta!
Him in the middle, a 17th pentakill for the Prince.
With Dragon Soul T1's target, G2 are forced to respond quickly, and with Peyz as fed as he is, Operation Protect Mr. President is of utmost priority for T1. How do you do that when BB's on Kled? This guy's putting on the Kled clinic. I say the Kled in... Never mind.
Still looking. Look at BrokenBlade, he's snuck behind them. Doran as well, though perhaps caught out. 4 members of G2 trying to chase him, but he uses the Ghost and gets himself out. BrokenBlade still here. Justice punch forward by Faker. Peyz begins to step up. The final spark. The Crescent Guard of Faker's down, and now BB charges round, but the wrong way round. It's a merry-go-round for G2 as they look to try and steal this away. Peyz flashes out. SkewMond down. Oner takes him. Caps takes half his health from the caliber that Peyz has found. A BrokenBlade though gets in with the bear trap. Labrov survives through Oner. Keria's down. T1 are down. G2 will chase them away. No end in sight yet, but again, G2 have found the 5% play they needed, but Doran has other ideas. He'll chase Labrov, he'll take the 2. G2 will kill him off in the end, but Doran evens it out.
G2 somehow take Baron uncontested. That's the whole play.
at time, G2 now starting the Baron.
They're trying to get Faker across here. He only has the hero's entrance, no flashes. BrokenBlade keeps Oner at bay. On the top side,
No
Doran looking for an
Peyz.
engage. Peyz still no flash as G2 rattle through the Baron right now. It's down to 2k. The smite comes out. The final spark does not find its mark. G2 get the Baron, and Charlie Crystal is going to hit on Keria, but he immediately Mikhails it away. SkewMond dashing forward with him, becomes lightning in the audacious charge, but he's not going to find too much more. Faker gets his Justice Punch blocked by BrokenBlade. A bear trap on a rope with the rest of T1 coming across to defend. Faker will survive.
After another contest of Dragon Soul and SkewMond making it 3 dragons apiece, a sieging G2 eats a headshot from Peyz. My god, where did brother go?
Absolutely in that last one, he was threatening to flank the holder. Peyz! He one-shot him!
He just absolutely eviscerates Labrov, and now G2 on the back foot. Ragnarok forward as Hansama is going to get taken out. The hero finds a Faker there as well. BrokenBlade having to retreat, dives back onto Oner. Meanwhile, SkewMond once again just taken out. BB killed off Oner. Caps is just off towards the top side. It's still an advantageous fight for T1 as the Lucian Singularity doesn't find its mark, but Faker is falling low. Violent tendencies! The Kled somehow finds another. The Lucian Singularity will get the slow Doran there with a chase, but the undertow does not connect, and BrokenBlade is leading them on a merry chase as he remounts onto Skull. Doran stepping forward. BB with a pocket pistol! as Hurricane BB's on its way for the chase. Oner has the hero's entrance coming in. SkewMond and BrokenBlade now need to get the hell out with the Enchanted Crystal out on the Crescent Guard for the knockback. Peyz trying to step in the midst of that circle, but he can't get close enough. BrokenBlade gets onto Peyz, who now has a Guardian Angel, and BrokenBlade is rooted up, dismounted as he runs away from Doran, and Camp takes the kill.
With another Baron spawned, it's looking to be the game-deciding objective. But who was responsible for making an almost no defensives Galio match a 15-kill Kled bot lane?
Side Faker getting chased out by BB, who's just barreling through him, uses the charge to interrupt the hero's entrance, and the hero makes an exit.
It's a 3.6k gold lead for Caps. Yes, Peyz is strong, but he's been capped on items for a while, and he's the only one.
The MasterCard priceless moment of the game. G2 fighting valiantly back into it. A Chem Soul and a Baron now for them.
As G2 take Baron and Soul, their siege is laid. But Peyz's Caitlyn is still 7 items. Do we say that now instead of 6? Anyway, can the reigning champ successfully defend?
In this moment as well, you have to trust yourself, you have to back yourself. G2 have done that many times before, but can you do it against the back-to-back world champions as T1 are trying to shut that door? A Ragnarok forward, they'll jump onto Caps, the final spot. Caps tries to get away, will use the flash, the inhibitor tower in the mid lane will fall, the Ragnarok falls off. Meanwhile on the bottom side, Hansama and Labrov are pushing forward for a second inhibitor tower of this Baron play. T1 went for the play, Ghost Ragnarok forward from Doran, but they couldn't find purchase onto Caps.
And that's double inhib now there for G2. T1 do push Caps back.
For the ending push, triple inhib down, 2.5 minutes before the inhibs are back out.
No
as
flash on
Oner
Caps.
looks for it. Caps has no flash. An Arcane Sword comes down and Faker looks for the flank. G2 are just going to push through mid though. The Arcane Sword gets the Guardian Angel as G2 try and catch onto Doran. Peyz still here to try and defend. BrokenBlade going in as well with the Ragnarok coming out. The charge away from Kled. Caps is down. SkewMond here trying to answer with one of his own as he jumps onto Faker. Labrov headshot. The ace in the hole is going to have to be blocked by Hansama. A light binding by them as Peyz flashes forward. Hansama forced away, but Faker's here. T1 are not done with you. T1 are not done with this series. They're not done with this MSI as they wipe away G2.
G2's bot lane still dead, T1 take an uncontested Elder, and in response, SkewMond begins Baron solo. But despite the Elder buff, G2 still have an amazing macro setup, pressuring T1's 3 downed inhibs with a level 20, 15 kill Chemtech Soul Kled on the bot lane. How did I one take that?
Oh, Caps is there.
Oner's looking as well. This is not a quick Baron. It's only SkewMond doing it right now as Oner steps forward. Spotted out by the fast side Oration. BrokenBlade seeing if he can get in, but Peyz is still there to defend alongside Faker. Recall coming out from Peyz and the resets coming out from T1. It will be a Baron for Elder exchange in the end.
Which favors the Baron because you can just wait out the Elder. The Baron is taken second here, and I don't think T1 are going to get a fight right now.
With Baron buff, G2 look to retake T1's 3 inhibs, but despite an expired Elder buff, we all know how scary a full build Caitlyn is. But is it scary enough?
Faker. G2 stepping forward. No flash on Hansama. SkewMond is about to come off cooldown.
Caps just lost half his health. It looked like an ult snuck in there from Peyz. No one blocked it.
No TP as well for Caps. He's reliant on his teammates, reliant on that Inspire shield, slowed up by the Lucian Singularity. BrokenBlade building up a huge minion wave here.
Yeah, they're
Quad
get
supers.
Once again.
And now T1, all hail the defense. Can you pull it out of the hat? Can you find something magical? You've done it so many times before with the Arcane Storm coming out. Peyz is forced to walk away. The inhibitor on the top side about to fall to BrokenBlade as T1. They need to heal. They need to get back up. The wave's not quite here yet for G2,
someone, please.
but the Nexus tower stops.
Did he step on a trap?
Peyz assassinates Caps.
Look at BB, look at BB, look at BB! Go get the Nexus, baby, get the Nexus! Everyone the Nexus!
Yeah, absolutely insane series, and we've got another coming in the next couple of days, so be sure to subscribe to not miss out. Thank you for watching. Bye!